Hey guys, welcome back to LatiNation. I'm your host, Humberto Guida. Up next, New Jersey native Scott Cruz is a recording artist with a wealth of talent, as well as a gift of vision, quite literally. A respected composer and performer with 5 prestigious Telly Awards for film and TV scoring, Scott has been recognized for his musical work in various genres, including gospel, pop, electronic, and rock. But he is also more than just a musician. Scott happens to be a teacher of the power of consciousness with a growing reputation as a professional medium. And we find out how he balances the musical and the mystical part of his life coming up right here on LatiNation.
'Cause I believe that the world is diverging until...
All right, guys, I am here with Scott Cruz, who is an amazing musician, but he's also a medium.
A lot of people misconstrue a psychic and a medium. So a medium is specifically someone who can actually tap with people who've crossed on, is what they say, higher consciousness.
And so you're not predicting future. You're tapping into the spiritual realm.
The spiritual realm, yeah, exactly. Those who've I always say remerged back into non-physical. So like they say media, those who've crossed over. So all mediums are psychic, meaning that means I'm able to also read people's life trajectories and also able to forecast their future and so forth. Even though we have free will, nothing's set in stone. I always have to mention this. But so all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. Some psychics can just read people's trajectories, but not necessarily connect with those who crossed over.
When did you find out that you had these powers? When did they start coming?
I love it's like power, Yeah. It's actually when I was a kid. It's like I just started noticing, it was normal for me, but then I realized it wasn't normal for everybody else, so I just thought everyone else was crazy. I'm like, you don't see this? You don't know this? So it definitely was something that was interesting, and things moving. We had, growing up, something called a poltergeist, where there were things moving in the house that we couldn't explain, doors opening, closing, and...
Now other people notice these things, not just
yes,
you.
Not just
these
me.
are physical...
Physical,
okay.
Like my family, as well as those who've also connected with family and friends, would come into the house and see these experiences as well. So yeah, and so it started with that, and that made me more interested about, okay, why can certain people see this and certain people can't, and what really is this? So I was very intrigued by it.
Have you ever encountered anything scary? Have you ever encountered demonic, dark sort of energies and entities?
Great question.
And how'd you feel about it when that happened?
My past of growing up and not having a lot of knowledge about it, I was getting negative slapbacks, like scratches or waking up with bruises and stuff like this, being pushed, and people seeing certain entities. So, but to me, it was actually my own energy projection. It really wasn't spirit. Now, when we're spiritually aware or aware of non-physical energy, we could also be aware of our own negative energy. So the only negative energy you really experience is our own. So for me, I tell people it isn't negative. You might encounter negative aspects of self that that would be revealed, but that's a freeing experience. Yeah. So once I realized that, all that kind of lashing back stopped. And I realized, oh, and then after a while I said, I miss hauntings. I miss that experience, so I turned it on, and it's like all of a sudden my friend's like, oh my God, something just moved. I'm like, I know. Because I was able to kind of manipulate the energy space.
Give it up, I won't trust you again.
Well, how did your music come about, and how does it relate to your,
It's all connected, right? I've been doing music, same thing. Spirituality music has always been stuff I did as a child. It's not something I just said, hey, I'm a medium, let's do music now. Like some people know me as a medium thought, hey, when does this music thing happen? I'm like, I've been doing it. Some people who know me as a musician said, when does this media thing happen? I said, it's always been there. It's another form of an expression of passion to inspire people, And again, if you think of music as playing with tone and frequency, so it's very similar with spirituality. So it's just another form of expression. And when I usually write stuff, I'm usually writing so complex. I always have to kind of simplify things sometimes, and my mind is always going. So I write and I kind of say, how can this be relatable? How can someone kind of relate? Like King Solitude is about standing on your own ground and not trusting people who you think may have your back or not. It's really about your belief and your perspective in life. So my goal is just to inspire people to be self-content, to be self-sufficient.